what's up? We're back with another video. We're back with another reaction. This one on more the sports side. Top 10 unguardable wide receivers. My boy DK should be up there because, he's top tier. My boy Tyler Lockett, he's underrated. I ain't gonna lie, but we'll see what they put him if they even put him on there. But yeah, make sure y'all go like and subscribe right now. It's free. Take seconds. Make sure y'all go do that for me, please. Help the kid out. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Wide receivers in today's NFL are getting pretty scary.
Yep.
And the Sharks that are out there now that we're going to be talking about today are a key example of why that is. With the way that the modern NFL game has evolved, a huge premium has been placed on finding elite talent at wide receiver. Teams are passing more than ever,
Yep.
and the rules have changed to support exactly that. While there are a lot of solid wideouts who are putting up numbers in the new NFL, there's a clear gap between them and the true cream of the crop. The receivers who it doesn't matter if you put one or two D-backs on them, they simply cannot be stopped. So let's take a look at the 10 most unguardable wide receivers in the NFL right now. I think it's only right that we kick this off with Cooper Kupp, because after 2 steady seasons in 2009,
Is he putting this like that's number 1, or is he putting that at that's number 10? Don't get it.
19 and 2020, in which he proved to be a well above average pro, the man is now coming off what might be the single greatest season a wide receiver has ever had. In 2021, Kupp captured the regular season Triple Crown, leading the NFL in receptions with 145 catches, receiving yards at 1,947, and touchdowns with 16. And if that wasn't enough, he went and balled out throughout the Rams' entire Super Bowl run, snagging another 33 receptions for 478 yards and 6 touchdowns, culminating with him earning Super Bowl MVP honors. The craziest part about the entire performance was, with Robert Woods already missing due to injury, once Odell went down, the entire Bengals defense was keyed in on Kupp down the stretch. But that didn't stop Matt Stafford from going to him damn near every time he needed a play. That is just how unguardable Cooper Kupp became last year. With the Lombardi Trophy on the line and all the eyes on him, he was still getting every target and converting in a huge way, finishing with 8 receptions for 92 yards and 2 extremely important touchdowns. What's interesting about Kupp is that he's not even the most physically imposing receiver on this list. At 6'2" and around 210 pounds, he's got a slight size advantage over most D-backs. But he doesn't have the true breakaway speed or vertical leaping ability that you would expect from a guy performing like that. But he runs routes better than just about anyone in the league. And he's as sure-handed as they come. I guess all those reps that he and Stafford put in together paid off, huh? Kupp's receiving style and his ability to run elite routes is reminiscent of Stephon Diggs.
Okay, Kupp is good. Yeah, he is good. But he ain't the best, though.
Another one of the toughest receivers to contain. In fact, his quarterback in Buffalo, Josh Allen, gushed about the way Diggs can create space from his man to USA Today. He is a route technician. I think everybody knows that, Allen said. I don't know what you're supposed to do when you're out there with him because he's very smart with the way he sets you up. The quickness and the speed out of his cuts, it's pretty unbelievable. Now, obviously, Allen is a little bit biased, but the tape doesn't lie. Some of the moves that Diggs can put on an opposing cornerback seem pretty much impossible to stop. I mean, right here we see him shaking Lattimore 5 yards off of him on a 5-yard route. Diggs, like Kupp, also has some of the surest hands in the NFL. Last season, he dropped just 5 of 164 targets that he got, which, considering the insane velocity and somewhat erratic accuracy that Josh Allen delivers his passes with, is extremely impressive. Particularly when you remember that Diggs wasn't exactly a blue-chip prospect coming out of the draft. The University of Maryland alumni didn't get taken until the 5th round in 2015. I'd have to imagine there's quite a few general managers that are absolutely kicking themselves for not scooping him up when they had the chance. While we're on the subject of 5th rounders that have GMs filled to the brim with regret, how about Tyreek Hill, who is undeniably one of the most...
Talking about unguardable, I think Tyreek Hill is number 1 because that man is fast. His routes are good. That to me, that's the number 1 most unguardable receiver.
freakishly talented wide receivers in the game today. I'll give the Suits a bit of a pass for missing on Hill, however, because he did fall as a result of character concerns stemming from the legal challenges he had in college. But still, it has to hurt to know that a player of Tyreek's caliber, who for the most part seems to have cleaned up his act as a pro, got away. He is just 5'10", but Hill is a compact rocket of fast twitch muscle, and he earns his nickname Cheetah every time he steps onto the gridiron. I mean, the man ran a 4.29 second 40-yard dash, and somehow that still feels slow compared to his speed and pads. The way that he can outright burn damn near any of the other professional athletes that are paid quite nicely to try and keep up with him is insane. I mean, just check this out. Tyreek Hill is so fast that his would-be tacklers basically melt into a helpless puddle trying to stay in front of him and make a play. Not to mention the fact that he also possesses a 40-plus inch vertical that helps him to overcome his somewhat diminutive stature in key jump ball type situations. It will, however, be interesting to see how Hill adjusts to catching balls down in Miami from Tua Tagovailoa now, instead of Patrick Mahomes. This will be a good test to see how truly unguardable he is. You know, when he's not playing in that explosive Chiefs offense with one of the best throwers of the football that the league has ever seen. I suppose that only time will tell, but for the interim, he has to get the unguardable seal of approval. On the other end of the spectrum, we have Tampa Bay Bucks wideout Mike Evans, who has quietly been one of the league's best receivers in the NFL since they took him 7th overall in the 2014 NFL Draft.
You see, I don't know all about this one. Like, yeah, he can go up and get a ball, but DK can go up and get a ball, you know. And DK's faster. So if he doesn't have this one, if he doesn't have DK on his list, it's not valid. It's just that simple.
At 6'5" and 230 pounds of pure muscle, Evans is one of the most physically imposing wideouts we have seen in some time. A bit reminiscent of Calvin Johnson, in the way that he can just overpower and vertically create space from his defender even if they think they have him locked up. I suppose it doesn't hurt that he has some of the best hands, or in this case, hand, in the league. After all, Mike Evans may or may not have made Johnny Football what he was at College Station. And in the time since, he's been one of the most consistent producers across the league. He's made 4 Pro Bowls and is the only player in NFL history to start his career with 8 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. And it's not like he's done it with Tom Brady at the helm the entire time either. Evans has had to endure a potpourri of mediocre quarterbacks tossing him the rock to start his career. Guys like Mike Glennon, Jameis Winston, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. What he's done the past couple of years is still impressive, no doubt. But when you have the GOAT under center, and you're a star receiver, well, that's kind of expected.
Yeah.
While we're talking about receivers who've had to overcome their QB's limitations, I think we have to pay...
Stat-wise, D-Hop is the best receiver in the NFL. My man's played with dudes off the street and was still putting up numbers. Like, that's crazy. Like, literally, he just throw the ball to him and he go up and get it.
Homage to DeAndre Hopkins. After all, Nuke had a laundry list of signal callers in Houston that could barely pass his journeyman, and he still put up some big-time numbers. Think about it. The former 27th overall pick made 3 All-Pros, 4 Pro Bowls, and set the NFL record for catches before the age of 30 with guys like Brock Osweiler, Tom Savage, and perhaps, worst of all, TJ Yates throwing him the ball. And now that he's paired up with Kyler Murray, he looks to be taking it to the next level, as evidenced by their epic Hail Mary in 2020. 3 guys draped all over him with the game on the line, and he hauls it in no problem. Doesn't get much more unguardable than that. It's catches like that which have many in and around the NFL pointing to Hopkins as one of the top receivers of his generation. Though he does have some competition from a couple of other wideouts that started up around the same time as him. Keenan Allen, who was taken in the 3rd round of the 2013 draft, the same one that Houston drafted D-Hop in, and Davante Adams.
Alright. They're tripping. Keenan Allen is not in the same realm as Davante Adams and D-Hop. My man's is like here. They're up here. tripping.
Adams, who the Packers selected in the second round of the following draft. Allen and Adams both have had the benefit of playing with significantly better quarterbacks than Hopkins did for most of their careers. Keenan had Phillip Rivers and now Justin Herbert. And Devontae was catching passes from Aaron Rodgers. That is no slight difference. And to Hopkins' credit, he still put up better counting numbers than his peers with that aforementioned crew of middling quarterbacks. But Allen and Adams have both proven to be downright unguardable when they're healthy. Adams has an uncanny knack for snagging passes in seemingly impossible situations, like he did with this ridiculous catch he made down the sideline in a 1st and 17 situation against Washington. Not only is his footwork off the line among the best we've ever seen, but his ability to find the football while moving at insane speeds and to concentrate enough to be able to pull it in is truly unique. And now that he's joined the Las Vegas Raiders, he'll have the opportunity to prove that his success in the league thus far was not merely the product of playing with Aaron Rodgers. Allen is no slack when it comes to his hands either, but his elite differentiator has to be his route running ability. In fact, he is widely considered to be one of the best route runners in the entire NFL. When he is healthy, there doesn't seem to be a single defensive back that can keep up with him, in the flats, down the sideline, or otherwise. These guys have helped pave the way for a new, extremely exciting generation of wide receivers who may, with the continued evolution of the modern game, truly rewrite the NFL record books. Out in San Francisco, we now have the dual threat rushing and receiving receiver out of South Carolina, Deebo Samuel. And Minnesota and Cincinnati are like...
I swear, if he leaves him off this list, bro. If he leaves him off this list.
Enough to have each scooped up extraordinarily talented wide receivers from LSU and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, respectively. Starting with Deebo, he had a solid rookie campaign in 2019, hauling in 57 catches for 802 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he has really come into his own this past year after missing most of 2020 due to injury. In 2001, he set career highs across the board, snagging 77 receptions for 1,405 yards and 6 touchdowns. Not to mention his 365 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground. Samuel's importance to the 49ers offense truly cannot be overstated. After all, he put up those career-best numbers despite the inconsistent quarterback play from Jimmy Garoppolo and rookie Trey Lance. It was not uncommon for the entire opposing defense to be keyed in on Deebo. But that didn't stop number 19 from saying, screw it, and making the play anyways. I mean, look at this ridiculous run he made against the Dallas Cowboys.
Trash Cowboys.
Around and passed over half the Cowboys defenders for that big third quarter touchdown. While Jefferson and Chase don't take the ball out of the backfield as much as Samuel, both former Tiger receivers are comically unstoppable at times. Anyone who watched the Bengals on their playoff run knows that about Chase. The 2021 Offensive Rookie of the Year put on a show week in and week out. He averaged 92 yards and just under 6 receptions per across 4 playoff games, including this insane one-handed grab he made in the Super Bowl with Jalen Ramsey, one of the top corners in the league, on him. Jefferson hasn't had the same opportunity to perform on that huge Super Bowl stage, but his 2 seasons in the NFL have been insanely impressive. Even with the increased attention that opposing defenses pay to him nowadays, coupled with the sometimes inconsistent play of Kirk Cousins. He went from 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns in a freshman year that he was edged out by Justin Herbert for Rookie of the Year honors to over 1,600 yards and 10 touchdowns in 2021. Jefferson has had the same propensity as Chase for those ridiculous circus catches. And as crazy as it sounds, I would not be surprised to see him take another huge step forward in 2022. Even if Kirk Cousins is throwing him the ball.
Come on,
the 23-year-old receiver is
DK?
that damn good. But who do you think is the most unguardable wide receiver in the NFL today? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video...
Watch this, bro. No, bro. Go down here. Dislike. Bro, how is he gonna leave DK off of the list? This is the most unvalidated list I've ever seen. My man didn't even have the best receiver on the list. That's crazy. Anyways. That'll do it for the video. Very disappointing video. You know, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Some video suggestions down below. And I think this one's gonna go out after the other reaction. So make sure y'all go check that one out and leave a like on that one. And we'll see you in the next one.